A newly released CIA record uncovers that researchers have successfully conducted investigates people that demonstrate the presence of superhuman capacities. As per the records, acquired by means of a Freedom of Information Act Task Force (FOIA), throughout the previous 20 years researchers have considered subjects in China who can take advantage of quantum levels of reality. CommonSenseEvaluation.com reports. It is felt that these talented individuals have possessed the capacity to take advantage of a quantum level, inconspicuous by the human eye. To see legitimately, you should know about the connection between our cognizance and our physical reality. The two things are genuine, and they have an extremely convoluted relationship. Creator of quantum hypothesis Max Planck said we should see awareness as essential and matter as subordinate from cognizance. Another physicist Eugene Wigner has said on the issue it was impractical to detail the laws of quantum mechanics in a completely steady manner without reference to awareness. The record containing the data about the occasions in China is called Sequence of Recent Interest in Exceptional Functions of the Human Body in the People's Republic of China. The archive discusses the Chinese government and its work with parapsychology, that is remote survey, clairvoyance, psychokinesis. The report has just as of late turned out to be accessible because of a Freedom of Information Act Task Force (FOIA), and it incorporates intriguing points of interest of people who have indicated superhuman capacities, and that they have been contemplates endless circumstances by researchers everywhere throughout the world. The report is on the CIA site, however must be gotten to by the web archives. A concise framework of the imperative things in it. The CIA report include: in 1979, a noteworthy Chinese science diary, Zhenzaki, printed a write about non-visual example acknowledgement where a few records of excellent human body work were affirmed. In 1980, the journal and the Chinese Human Body Science Association held a parapsychology gathering in Shanghai with members from more than 20 investigate organizations and colleges from around the globe. In 1981, there was a development of more than 100 unique spots to contemplate kids with remarkable capacities with more than 100 formally prepared researchers. In 1982, the Chinese Academy of Sciences supported an open hearing in Beijing, and the sole reason for existing was to examine people with parapsychological capacities. There were more than 400 researchers in participation. Zhang Baoxing. In April of 1982, the party's National Committee of Science at Beijing Teachers College held a trial to test the capacities of specific understudies. The greater part of the outcomes returned negative, aside from Zhang Baoxing. The following year, Zhang was examined once more, this time by 19 scientists drove by Professor Lin Xuhang of the Material Science Division of Beijing Teachers School. Positive outcomes were recorded for his superhuman forces. Zhang could move questions all through fixed holders utilizing just the energy of his brain. Professor Xuhang considered Zhang for a half year, and he was more than once ready to put little bits of paper into fixed test tubes, and after that take them out once more, without touching them. He rehashed the tests with other little things like paper clips and creepy crawlies, and Zhang could move these, as well. A film was made by the Institute of Space Medico-Engineering in 1987 exhibiting the outcomes, which demonstrated a solution pill traveling through an irreversibly fixed glass vial, which happened in 3 casings of a 400 casing for every second film. Another discharge from the CIA, research into paranormal ability to break through spatial barriers, contains this depiction of Zhang's capacities. A wooden bureau 120 by 180 by 60 centimeters was utilized as a fixed holder. Sheets of papers and sheets with standout markings were utilized as the objective questions and put inside the bureau on the upper rack. Without harming the bureau or opening the entryway, the individual with ESP could expel the objective articles and furthermore could return them inside. This shows notwithstanding when utilizing particularly vast holder it is conceivable to totally get through spatial hindrances, be that as it may, the achievement rate was much lower and was especially troublesome. Source: as indicated by Eric Davis, Ph.D., FBIS, there were other kids like Zhang. A declassified U.S. Air Force record acquired by means of the Federation of American Scientists, contained a report from Shuang that talented kids could transport little, physical articles starting with one place then on to the next. Articles like watches, horseflies, different bugs, radio small-scale transmitters, photosensitive paper, while never touching the items in advance. The examination was completed by the lofty Department of Defense, and is a critical case since it was regarded vital that an unclassified intelligence information report be set up for open survey. In a comparative report, Dr. Senior Member Radin, chief scientists at the Institute of Noetic Sciences, they could record bits of paper being transported into fixed plastic holders. The report was distributed in 2010 by resigned examined physicist Dong Shen. The most captivating piece of this investigation is that the teleportation systems were instructed to different understudies with a win rate of 40%. This data is distributed in his book, Supernormal. Dr. Senior Member Radin states, assessing the points of interest and validity of these investigations have been troublesome on the grounds that a considerable lot of the papers seem just in Chinese. The systems have not yet been accounted for outside of China, and the exploratory strategies utilized in directing such tests don't have all the earmarks of being as thoroughly controlled when contrasted with ordinary Western techniques. In spite of the fact that, Eric Davis has stated, the aftereffects of the Chinese teleportation examinations can basically be clarified as a human awareness wonder that by one means or another demonstrations to move or pivot test examples through a fourth spatial measurement, so examples can enter the strong dividers, boundaries of their compartments without physically rupturing them. The American Journal of Chinese Medicine has confirmation of a comparable, astonishing story of a lady named Qilin Sun. The investigation in the U.S. National Library of Medicine records this present woman's capacity to accelerate the development of seeds to an astounding rate. The examination states, Qilin Sun is a lady with outstanding forces, Shen and Sun, 1996, 1998, Sun, 1998. An individual from the Chinese Somatic Science Research Institute, she is a specialist of Weiqi. Weiqi is a sort of Qigong that instructs the expert to bring the qi vitality of conventional Chinese pharmaceutical under the control of the brain. Qilin Sun can actuate plant seeds to develop shoots and roots a few cm long inside 20 minutes utilizing rationally anticipated qi vitality. This has been exhibited on more than 180 distinct events at colleges and also science and research establishments in China, counting Taiwan and Hong Kong, and in addition different nations, for example, Japan, Thailand, Malaysia, and so on. Ge et al., 1998, Qin et al., 1998, Li et al., 1999. We partook in and rehashed the qi germination tests 7 times, and 5 of them succeeded. Ge et al., 1998. This amazing impact on seed improvement has drawn far-reaching consideration. Tompkins and Bird, 1973, Lee, 1998, yet the organic instruments that underlie this wonder are obscure. Sun is thought to have possessed the capacity to do this by taking advantage of a level of qi. Qi is depicted as the unity that is coursing through everything constantly. It is in charge of each great and awful thing that happens to you, and to saddle it and utilize it for good, you should be free of the limitations of the physical world. These investigations demonstrate that superpeoples may exist and that they may not completely comprehended by standard science. The unwillingness by the administration to enable them to be contemplated in the general population implies just the mystery insights. Administrations are the ones who truly comprehend the degree of these exceptional individuals.